Good day, everyone. I am truly honored to stand before you today to discuss a topic of paramount importance in our ever evolving digital age. And this topic lies at the intersection of digital technology, education, and social responsibility, and it carries the immense significance for both our classrooms and society at large. In today's digital landscape, online communication and social media play an integral role in the lives of our students and, of course, for the broader community. As educators, it is our solemn duty to prepare our students not only for academic success, but also to navigate the complexities of the digital world with confidence and integrity. So, this afternoon, as we embark on this journey together, let us keep in mind that our classrooms are not just places for learning, but also spaces where we mold future leaders, critical thinkers, and compassionate individuals. So, our efforts in fostering such digital citizenship and inclusivity will undoubtedly have a profound impact not only on the lives of our students, but of course also on the society they will shape. So, without further ado, let us explore the avenues through which we can empower our students to be responsible digital citizens and apply inclusivity in online communication and social media crisis. So, together we will chart a course towards a more connected, informed, and inclusive digital world, one that we can be proud to pass on to the next generation. So, my topic this afternoon is all about applying inclusivity in online communication and social media crisis. So, here are my learning objectives. First, to comprehend the meaning and significance of inclusivity in online communication and its role in enhancing the effectiveness of digital interactions. Two, identify the manifestations and practices of inclusivity across various online platforms, such as Facebook groups, comment sections, and chat groups. Third, appreciate the role of inclusivity during social media crisis, emphasizing the importance of recognizing diverse viewpoints and its impact on effective crisis communication. And lastly, understand the intersections of inclusivity with media ethics, principles like accuracy and fairness, and be aware of the ethical challenges associated with pursuing inclusivity in online spaces. So, what will we talk about today? Over the next few moments, I will delve into the intricacies of these critical concepts like number one, inclusivity in online communication, second, role of inclusivity during social media crisis, and third, the ethical aspects of inclusivity. So I will explore how they can be seamlessly integrated into the classroom, equipping our students with the skills and knowledge that they need to be responsible, empathetic, and inclusive digital citizens. So we will also discuss how to address social media crisis, which can be particularly challenging in an educational context, but also offer unique opportunities for growth and learning. So, how inclusivity enhances the effectiveness of online communication? So, when we talk about inclusivity, it is also known as inclusiveness. It is the practice of ensuring that all individuals, regardless of their background, identity, abilities, and with characteristics, they are treated fairly, respectfully, and with equal opportunities for participation, for representation, and access. So it aims to create an environment where diversity is acknowledged, valued, and celebrated, and where everyone can fully engage and contribute without facing discrimination, without facing exclusion or barriers. So, inclusivity is a fundamental principle in various aspects of society, including education, workplaces, communities, and online spaces, promoting like equity, diversity, and social cohesion. So, inclusivity greatly enhances the effectiveness of online communication because it fosters a sense of belongingness, broadness, perspectives, and it reduces miscommunication. This also builds trust, encourages collaboration, and, of course, uphold ethical standards. So we need to embrace inclusivity in online interactions, which improves communication quality, and it can also contribute to a more empathetic and harmonious digital world. All right, so today I'd like to zoom in on the significance of inclusivity across different online communication contexts. So let's take a brief journey through the three prominent platforms we're all familiar with. As you can see in the presentation, we have here the Facebook group. I know that we are all familiar with it. So often, these are community-driven platforms where members share common interests. So, for example, if you have a Facebook group in one of your subjects, or let's say a school organization where you are the coordinator, so I'm pretty sure that you set standards, guidelines, and other directions to your co-FB group mates. So here, inclusivity means respecting diverse opinions and ensuring every member feels heard, and of course moderating discussions to be free from hate or bias. Another example here is the comment section. We're all familiar with this. So this is very common since we are always doing this, whether it's on a blog, a news site, or YouTube, or in Facebook, right? So the comment section offers a space for public feedback interactions. So for example, in Facebook, if you are the admin or moderator, you can actually hide or filter comments. You can also hide automatically if someone uses profane words, those profanities, right? All you need to do is to explore the settings of the page or group, right? So being inclusive here involves acknowledging different perspectives and also refraining from dismissive languages, no? And striving for constructive conversation. And lastly, we have these chat groups, no? So mga GCs natin. So these real-time conversations, be it like on WhatsApp, if you're familiar with it, Telegram, or the famous one, which is the Facebook Messenger. So they are very rapid exchanges, no, of messages. So inclusivity in chats is about giving everyone an equal opportunity to voice their thoughts and recognizing that behind every screen is a human with emotions and experiences. So in all these platforms, the essence remains the same. No? Inclusivity is about respect, understanding, and fostering a space where every voice holds value. So let's all be digital ambassadors of inclusivity, regardless of the platform. All right, so inclusivity is more than just a concept. So it's a practice, a daily commitment also. And today, I'd like to introduce 4 pivotal techniques that can help nurture inclusivity in our online interactions. So I'm going to provide classroom scenarios of each of those techniques. Okay? So number 1, we have here active listening. I know that we are all familiar with this, right? So for example, given in a scenario, during a virtual class discussion on the impact of typhoons in different regions of the Philippines. Let's take a time machine for now. So, a student from, let's say, from Leyte. So, here she begins to share his personal experience with the typhoon Yolanda. No? Instead of interjecting with their own stories or dismissing the perspective, students are encouraged to provide supportive reactions, such as, let's say, using the raised hand feature or leaving positive emojis to show that they are actively listening and valuing the shared experience. So hence, we need to encourage students to genuinely listen to their peers in digital discussions. So this means not just hearing, but understanding and reflecting on others' viewpoints. Okay? Second is, of course, checking biases. So, for example, given in a scenario, in an online group chat, this is very common, a discussion or arises about the IPs or the indigenous peoples in Mindanao. So, a student makes, let's say, a generalized statement based on stereotypes. This is very common, no? So, they've heard about it. So the teacher steps in and shares a video about the rich cultures and traditions of the Lumads. So challenging students, of course, to learn and reflect on their biases rather than perpetuating stereotypes. So we all have biases, no? We really need to educate students on recognizing theirs. So especially in digital interactions, and challenge them to question and overcome these biases. Okay? So third is encouraging diverse voices. So for example, during a digital project on heroes of the Philippines, a student from a minority background decides to present about a lesser known local hero from their province. So recognizing the opportunity for unique perspective, the teacher highlights this choice in front of the class and encourages others to explore heroes from various regions and cultures in the Philippines. So this promotes a message that all stories, no matter how locally specific, are valued. So we need to foster a safe digital environment where students feel comfortable sharing their views without fear of retribution or mockery. And lastly, we have here avoiding assumptions. So for example, a student posts a picture of their vacation, no? In Baguio or in, let's say, in Boracay, di ba? On their social media. This is common also. Like every time we go on a vacation, we post something in Facebook, right? So let's say another student seeing only these pictures, and then she commented or he commented like, wow, always ka nalang mag-travel, rich kid talaga, RK, ganun. So the teacher, of course, uses this as a teachable moment. Alright? So the teacher should remind the student, or rather reminding the students, no, during a literacy session, during a digital literacy session about the dangers of making assumptions based on social media posts. So this emphasized that a few pictures don't tell the whole story. What if nagbakasyon lang siya because dinala siya ng kanyang parents, no? Or meron silang important na ginawa doon, di ba? So ayan, online, we often see just a sliver of someone's life. So let's avoid making judgments or assumptions based on limited information only. So we need to seek and understand and ask if unsure. So we need to remind that also to our students. So in implementing these techniques, we don't just foster inclusivity. So we actively shape the digital spaces, and we occupy into respectful understanding and harmonious communities. Okay? In the context of Philippine public school setting, inclusivity plays a paramount role in addressing social media crisis, especially within the realm of digital classrooms. So as digital education platforms become more pervasive, there is an intensified intermingling of students' online and offline lives. So making the classroom not just a place of academic learning, but also a space of socio-cultural interactions. So when a social media crisis arises, whether it involves misinformation, cyberbullying, or any form of digital misconduct, it is the spirit of inclusivity that can guide educators and students towards resolution. So, inclusivity at its core champions the acknowledgement and valuing of diverse voices. So, during a social media crisis, an inclusive approach ensures that every student's perspective is considered, irrespective of their background, beliefs, or socioeconomic status. So, this approach is not only validates the feelings and experiences of all our students, but also fosters a culture of empathy and mutual respect. For instance, if a student from a, let's say, a marginalized community becomes a target of online harassment, an inclusive classroom would rally around this student, offering support and actively countering the negative discourse. So, furthermore, inclusivity in the digital classroom promotes critical thinking and reflection. So, by encouraging our students to question their biases, they become more discerning in their digital interactions and less likely to perpetuate or fall prey for harmful narratives. So, this is especially crucial in the Philippine context. So, where regional, cultural, and socioeconomic difference can sometimes be sources of misunderstandings or prejudices. This is like always, no? This has always been a problem. Moreover, inclusivity equips students with the tools to navigate the complexities of online communication. So instead of making assumptions based on limited digital snippets of someone's life, students are taught, of course, to seek clarity, ask questions to the teachers, and refrain from judgment. So it is a crucial skill in averting or de-escalating potential social media crisis. As an educators in this digitally driven age, one of the core principles we must instill in our students is the essence of digital citizenship. Okay? A fundamental aspect of this is recognizing multiple viewpoints. So in our classrooms, students are not just interacting with the content, but are engaging with a world of diverse ideas, cultures, and experiences. So, all thanks to the digital tools at their disposal. So every click, every search, every online discussion is an opportunity to encounter a myriad of experiences and perspectives. So recognizing multiple viewpoints means understanding that for every topic, there is a spectrum of opinions and information sources. So it's about, teaching our students to approach online interactions with an open mind, to question, to analyze, and of course to appreciate the vast tapestry of thoughts in the digital world offers. So by fostering this attitude, we aren't just creating digital citizens, but we are also nurturing critical thinkers, empathetic listeners, and informed contributors for tomorrow's global community. And that is our students. All right, next in our plate, inclusivity's contribution to crisis communication. So when we talk about digital citizenship in the classroom, we are actually emphasizing the responsible use of technology. So we need to ensure that our students are not just tech savvy, but also tech responsible. So in an era where information moves faster than ever, it is inevitable that crisis will arise. So we have here number one, we have understanding multiple perspectives. So for example, a local public school in Davao decides to introduce a new online learning platform for students. So some students who hail from indigenous communities expresses concerns that the content does not incorporate their cultural perspectives and history. So recognizing this gap as a teacher, the school should encourage these students to share stories, traditions, right? Their resources from their communities. So the school then collaborates with these students into the digital curriculum. By doing so, this is not only is the curriculum enriched, but of course the students from various backgrounds feels seen and valued. So this initiative also educates other students about the diverse cultures within their own country, promoting understanding and reducing biases. So this time, inclusivity allows us to see a situation from various angles by teaching students to recognize and respect diverse viewpoints. So they become better equipped to navigate the digital waters during the turbulent times. Second, building trust and transparency. So for example, a rumor spreads on social media that a teacher at a public school in, let's say, in Tagum City made a discriminatory comment during an online class. So instead of letting the rumor spiral out of control, the school's administration promptly addresses the issue by holding a virtual town hall meeting. So the teacher, students, parents, and school officials come together, of course, to discuss the incident. So the teacher acknowledges the comment and apologizes, and the school ensures that um, inclusivity will actually have this, or will give them prompt to do a training to provide that all faculty members, by addressing these issues head on and openly, the school will foster trust and reassures stakeholders that such incidents will be addressed appropriately and proactively in the future. So, when a crisis hits, no, being inclusive in communication fosters trust. So, it assures all stakeholders that their concerns are being addressed, promoting a transparent and open dialogue. And lastly, effective resolution. Okay. For example, there are two groups of students from a Manila public school engaged in a heated online debate about local politics. So we are near to the election na, right, on October. So the discussion, let's say, escalates and becomes personal, with students taking sides and launching personal attacks. No? So recognizing the need for mediation, the school's guidance counselor intervenes. So setting up a virtual mediation sessions with the guidance counselor's help, the students are taught how to express their views without resorting to personal attacks and are encouraged to listen sessions. Then the students will come to an understanding, agreeing to disagree on certain points, but resolving to communicate with respect. So through this intervention, the school emphasizes the importance of inclusivity and respect in online interactions. So, by integrating inclusivity into digital citizenship, we empower students with the ability to mediate and resolve online conflicts so they can actively participate in solutions rather than escalating issues. So, to sum up, inclusivity isn't just a value we instill, no? It's a powerful tool as we prepare our students for the digital age, which is actually now. Um, let's emphasize that inclusivity is a cornerstone of effective crisis communication in the digital realm. Ethical aspects of inclusivity. As we integrate digital citizenship into our classrooms, it is very essential that we don't overlook the ethical dimensions of inclusivity. So, beyond just being a concept, inclusivity in digital citizenship represents a commitment. It's about creating a digital environment where every student feels valued, heard, and represented. So this extends to the materials we use, the examples that we cite, and the discussions we foster. So remember, as we mold our students to be responsible citizens or responsible digital citizens, ethical inclusivity should be at the heart of our efforts. So let's strive to cultivate a classroom where digital interactions are grounded in respect, understanding, and integrity. Intersection with media ethics principles. As educators in a digital age, it's paramount to understand the confluence between media ethics principles and digital citizenship, especially in our classroom. We need to imply the accuracy and fairness. So, in the accuracy part, for example, if Juan wants to tell the story of the manananggal, a mythical creature in the Philippine folklore, rather than making up details, he consults traditional tales and stories from elders in his community to ensure the portrayal is as accurate as possible. So this ensures that information we share and teach is correct and verified. And for the fairness part, for example, Juana is focusing on the annual Pahiyas Festival in Quezon. So to represent the festival without bias, she did not include the bright and joyous parts of the celebration, but also she addresses some criticism such as commercialization of certain aspects of the festival. So this approach ensures she's presenting a balanced view. So this represents multiple viewpoints without bias. So where do these two converge, the accuracy and the fairness? So when we integrate digital citizenship in our classrooms, it's not just about teaching students how to use digital tools, no? But also why the principles of accuracy and fairness are so crucial. So it's about cultivating students who not only navigate the digital world safely, but also ethically. So respecting the power of information and understanding their role in its dissemination. So in essence, combining media ethics and digital citizenships prepares our students to be both informed and ethical digital citizens. Ethical challenges in pursuing inclusivity. As we work to integrate digital citizenship into our classrooms, we must address a vital intersection. So, the ethical challenges in fostering inclusivity. In our tech driven era, digital tools empower our students with information and connections like never before. Yet, this empowerment brings complexities. So, striving for inclusivity means ensuring every student feels seen and respected, of course. However, this pursuit often clashes with long standing ethical principles. For instance, balancing inclusivity with accuracy can be tricky. So, how do we validate diverse student voices while ensuring the information shared is factual? So, for example, in a history class discussing the martial law era under Ferdinand Marcos, as students share a family story of how they benefited from certain infrastructural projects during this period. So this implies a positive impact, right? So the challenge now is that the teacher knows that while some people indeed benefited, many also suffered human rights abuses and economic hardships. So, as an educator, as a teacher, you acknowledge the student's perspective. You emphasize that individual experiences can vary. So, to ensure accuracy, the teacher can actually supplement the discussion with verified statistics and accounts showing a holistic picture of the era. So we need to have proof, right? If you're going to emphasize all of this. So while striving for fairness, we may sometimes inadvertently silence minority voices. So how do we ensure equity without compromising on inclusivity? So, let's say a scenario during a class discussion about ethnic minorities. So, let's say a LUMAD students or a LUMAD student expresses that their community faces discrimination and resource deprivation. However, a few classmates argue that these issues are minor and not widespread. So what is the challenge of the teacher now? So I think the teacher wants to validate the LUMAD students' experiences but doesn't want the discussion to become confrontational. So the teacher will actually sets clear guidelines for respectful dialogue. So they can also introduce authoritative resources or of course guest speakers familiar with indigenous issues to share insights. This way, the LUMAD students' voice is not overshadowed and the entire class gains a deeper understanding of the broader context. So, and as we aim for transparency in our digital interactions, where do we draw the line to protect sensitive student information and maintain confidentiality? Okay. So for example, a public school in Manila transitions to online learning due to the pandemic. So that was before, right? So let's go back to that time. To ensure transparency, the school encourages open forums where students can discuss their challenges and issues. Now, students share personal stories and experiences, their struggles, and the teacher is concerned that these sensitive details are visible to all participants, which might breach confidentiality. So, the solution there is, of course, the school can introduce a dual feedback system. So, wherein they conduct public forums, remain for general issues, but confidential channels like private messaging or designated portals or whatnot. These are established, of course, where students can share sensitive concerns without fear of exposure. So additionally, the students should be educated, no, about the implications of sharing personal information in online and the importance of digital privacy. So navigating these intersections is challenging. But teachers, remember, it is our responsibility to guide our students in becoming not just tech savvy or what we call techie students, but also ethically conscious digital citizens. So let's embrace the challenge together, teachers. And that's the end of my presentation this afternoon. Thank you very much for listening. And of course, this is again Miss Kethel Aisahanya. I'm from the University of Southeastern Philippines, from the College of Development Management. That's in Mintal campus. So that is my contact details, as you can see in the presentation. If you have questions for me or do you have any clarifications, let me know. If you have other concerns, you can email me. Right? Thank you very much, Media Educators of Mindanao, for this opportunity. Once again, good afternoon. And of course, before we part, I'm going to give you an activity. Okay? So, this is your activity this afternoon. So, this is the guideline. You are a part of a school's online committee tasked with creating a set of guidelines for inclusive online communication for both teachers and students. Now, your task here is you need to make a simple draft of a personal action plan using the provided template. So we will provide you the template for your action plan. You just need to fill it out and then submit it to us. Good luck, and thank you once again for listening and for participating in our activity, our talk this afternoon. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless.